And it burns, burns, burns. Our custom fuel. Let's add custom fuel to Minecraft. If you want to go deeper, the 26.x modding courses are linked down below. 30 plus hours covering complex block entities with fluid and energy handling, custom mobs, custom networking, and even custom biomes and dimensions. Everything you need for 26.x, all in one place, linked down below in the description. Alright, my friends, back a little more, and in this tutorial we're going to be adding custom fuel to our Minecraft mod, and it's going to be way more straightforward than you might think. Once again, it's actually kind of similar to the custom food, but actually even easier. The first step is actually just registering our entire custom fuel item, and then we're going to go from there. So we're going to make a new public right here, static final item, and we'll call this here the, let's do the combustible underscore spores. So this is going to be an interesting one. Listen, at this point, fuel, there are not that many types of fuels, okay? Also, combustible is written with an I guess. Combustible, okay, fair enough. Combustible spores equal to the register item method, and this is the combustible underscore spores. And this is going to be properties go to, actually, this is literally just item : new. We don't even need any custom properties in this case. You could make an argument, because it's combustible spores, that you maybe want to only have like 16 of them in like one stack. Could be an interesting way to sort of make the custom. I actually really like that. I like that idea. Let's do that. So there's going to be a new item over here with properties, and then the max stacks 2 over here is going to be 16, because, you know, they're so unstable that you can only take 16 in them. That's the lower reason to only stack them to 16. First things first, we'll go through all of the rigmarole that we always need to basically go through when we add new items over here. It's the same stuff all the time. We get the translation as well. Let me actually just get this right here. Boom. That's the combustible spores. And then, of course, the same thing goes for the item texture. Copy that one over, and as per usual, this is of course also available to you down below. And now that we have the item properly registered, now we add the fuel. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to make a new package. We're going to call this the registries. There's a point where this might be a little bit misleading of a name. Maybe you could do like register events or something like that, but generally speaking, it's gonna be fine. I'm going to call this registries, and here we're going to have a mod fuels class, and inside of here we'll make a public static void method register fuels. And then how to register a fuel, very easy. We want to use the fuel value events.build, then call the register method on this, and when you start typing in builder, you can see this build callback is a lambda expression, which you want to do, and then just, you know, make a curly bracket over here, and inside you can then call the builder.add, and we're going to add mod items.combustible spores, let's say with 1200 over here as the time. And yes, in theory, you know, you can add multiple over here, obviously, inside of the build register method. That is the whole idea. Now, there is also a context which you could use theoretically. As you can see, there's like base smelt times. Reason why this is the case is because if we look at the, let's press shift twice and look at the abstract furnace. Is it the abstract furnace block? No, it's actually the furnace block itself. Yeah. So the furnace block, I think, nope, that's also not the case. Is it the block entity? Yo, that's crazy. So we want to use the abstract furnace block entity. Yes, no, abstract furnace. There we go. That's why it doesn't work. Include non-project items. We take a look at it, and then at the bottom over here somewhere, I know it's somewhere. It actually is still in the. Okay, now I have it though. No, I still don't have it. Okay, don't listen to me. This is all in the fuel values class. It has changed its location. Now you can see that what it does is it has a base unit over here, which is 200, and then you times it by some amount. Yeah, I don't know why they changed it like this. It is what it is though. The idea, as you can see, these are the vanilla values, so you can take a look at those, and well, now you know roughly what the idea here is, right? So the lava bucket obviously being the one that takes the longest over here, and then you got a couple of other ones over here. Coal block is a little bit better than coal. Wait, I didn't know that was a thing, because it's times 10 instead of times 9. Because you own, oh, that's very interesting actually. I wasn't unaware that that's the case. Well, there we go, but that's going to be the different values from vanilla. So you can basically take a look at those, right? Literally just take the 200, times whatever you want, and then you should be good to go. And there we have it. That's the idea. We call this register fuels method inside of our onInitialize over here at the very bottom. There we go. And now the fuel is registered. We're going to run the data gen, and then let's test out our custom fuel. Let's see. All right, found us back in Minecraft, and let's just see over here if we set down some stuff. Look at this. Boom. It is going to burn, baby burn, exactly like we would expect this to. And of course, it works here as well. Absolutely freaking fantastic. I mean, I don't even know if I need to tell you anything about this. I mean, it's literally just, smelting stuff over here. There we freaking go, and it's going to take 1200 ticks over here, which is 60 seconds. Yeah, that's exactly right, because I can divide by 20 in my mind. Isn't that crazy? So this should take about a minute to, well, burn until it has another one. That's pretty cool, and that is a custom fuel added to Minecraft. Awesome. As always, all of the code is available to you down below, but that's gonna be it for this tutorial right here. I hope you found this useful and you learned something new, and next time we'll talk about custom tooltips. Until then, so yeah.